evening, gang. Hello. And just like that, it's 2026. Although 5 minutes late tonight, and I was having trouble getting on. There's this piece of software I use called Restream, and it allows us to go on YouTube and Facebook Live, and if I want to, Twitch, all at the same time, right? And I couldn't get that working tonight, so we're just on YouTube, which is the most important thing. So that's why I'm a little bit late tonight. But I hate being late. Oh, I absolutely hate being late for anything. Anyone else like that? Some people doesn't seem to mind them, does it? You know, they think it's perfectly acceptable to make a phone call because they're late, you know, which is all right now and again. But there are people who are constantly late, always late. Oh, you know, the appointment's at 6 o'clock for my interview. Takes me half an hour to get there, so I will leave at 5:30. No space in there used for an error. I think it's the rudest thing ever, being late for anything. I really do. You know, at your convenience. Anyway, that's just how it is. So that's what went wrong there. We couldn't get onto the restream, so we're just on YouTube, and that's all right. Okay, so welcome along, gang. Happy 2026. We've got a phone line open as well, which I'll open. It's actually open now, gang. If you want to call in at any point, what we're talking about, feel free, just call that number there. It won't accept withheld numbers, and it won't accept those stupid BT answer phone things that people used to try and send, and I tripped them. I soon sussed them out. You can't muck around for too long before I find a way around it, so don't bother yourselves, lads. Okay, let's just say hello to some people today. If you're in the chat box of some sort, I'm not in any chat boxes, okay? That's for you to talk to each other. I'm not in the chat box, which you have running, I think, alongside on YouTube somewhere. Not everyone has it switched on. I don't have it switched on. If I'm watching like a live YouTube show, I don't have the chat switched on, to be honest. I like to watch the person who's on there. But the chat is there for people to talk to each other. If you want to send me a message and you want to join in, it's really easy. Just use the text number at the top there. Okay, it's for UK numbers only. It won't work if you're outside the UK. But the text number, as you can see, is 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337. If you're further out than the UK, you can use the email, which is chris@chrisreardon.co.uk. chris@chrisreardon.co.uk, and I'll pick up your messages on there. All right, my loves. What else is it? And the other thing is the phone number. The phone number, there. The phone number's there, okay? If you want to give us a call, it's a local London number. It's not a premium rate number of any sort whatsoever. And we haven't spoke to anyone on the phone for a couple of weeks. So let's give that a little chin wag now. If you fancy a call today about anything that we're talking about, that's the number down there in the corner. 020 8144 3477. 020 8144 3477. Not with you next Sunday, because I've got a little holiday next Sunday, okay? So I'll tell you about that later. Meanwhile, people have already sent messages in. Gary Ross is there. Good evening, Gary. Over there in Northern Ireland. Hang on, let me get... What did I do with my phone? There it is. So let me put this here. In case any important news items come out. You know, a missile possibly coming across from Russia or something like that. You know, you'll find about it first here as the BBC Newsflash appears on my phone. Okay, so good evening to Gary Ross. Evening to Jason Hughes. Lovely Patricia in Manchester is there. Evening to you, my love. Evening to Mr. George Bond. Evening to the delightful Mark Bowles. Love of my life, boys and girls. Love of my life. Looking forward to his 39th birthday this year. And I must find out where he is on Wednesday, the 25th of March. Thank you very much. Yes. Oh, yes. Cindy, very busy. Very busy person. Not one to sit at home doing nothing. Although Father Danny says I should be doing that for a few more weeks, as I had my my flu and cough thing going on there. Evening, Mark. Evening to Vera from Vera's Choice in the morning. Evening to you, my love. And evening to Mr. Jason's son, who's also joining us on the show tonight. Evening, Jason. Jason, I think you're in London somewhere, aren't you? I can't remember where you said. Are you West London or somewhere like that? I think you said, didn't you? Anyway, so there we are. They're all the people sending in the messages so far, and Maureen as well. She was at the karaoke last night, and indeed at the New Year's Eve karaoke, weren't you, Maureen? Which was all right. It wasn't massively busy, but we certainly had enough there to have a good night, and it was nice. Now, here's the thing, right? For 62 years, maybe not 60, maybe not quite 62. That is my age. I don't know, for 57 years, maybe. For 50, let's say 57 years. For 57 years, my favourite crisps have been cheese and onion. Cheese and onion crisps. Who can refuse a bag of Walker's cheese and onion crisps? Or, in certain shops, and we came across them the other day, actually, Golden Wonder. Oh, yes. They're still making them. Golden Wonder cheese and onion crisps. Who can refuse a bag of those? Well, this weird thing happens when I had the flu. Right? For a few days, I really didn't want to eat anything. Seriously. I had no appetite whatsoever. When it started coming back, I was out somewhere. I think I'd gone to Tesco's to get some stuff. And I wanted salt and vinegar crisps. Isn't that weird? I've got someone online. Just wait there, my friends, and I'll be with you in a second, okay? Salt and vinegar crisps. My flavours have changed. Has that happened to anyone else? Who's on the line, please?
Hello, it's Julie Brimble.
Hello, Julie. How are you, love?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
You got a very nice voice, Julie. Very nice.
Yeah.
Voice. You got like a nice lady voice. You know there are certain
I am.
voices. You know,
I'm very nice.
I can tell that. There are certain voices that grate you, like, for example, Gemma Collins. That's not a voice that we like, is it, Gemma Collins? Or maybe you're a fan, are you?
Yes, and I think the world of your sister and her husband. I reckon she's lovely, and all the family.
Oh, that's nice.
I really enjoy watching the family.
Oh, Julie, can you do me a favour and turn your sound down on something, whatever it is you're watching on?
I'm watching you on the telly.
Can you turn Can you turn the sound down on the telly just while I'm talking to you, darling?
Yeah, okay, I've got to find the control. Where's
All right,
the
love.
control?
Okay.
Hang on, I've got to find the control a minute.
It's there. It's probably underneath the bed. Is it down the side of the settee? Has the dog run off with it?
Yeah, I got it.
Got it? Yeah, that's better. We can hear you better now.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's lovely,
Yeah.
Julie. Whereabouts are you, my love?
Yeah, I really do enjoy listening to your programme on a talk show.
Okay.
Yes, and like I said, and I love your sister's two dogs.
Oh, Merlin and Merlin
Dougal,
and
innit?
Dougal, yeah, Dougal the dog.
Yeah.
Do you know
yeah.
Do you know, Julie? They're lovely dogs. Ever
They
so
are.
friendly.
They look fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. My nephew was my young...
I have rung your brother-in-law, but they don't get back to me. I know they're very busy.
Yeah.
But
whereabouts are you, Julie?
I'm in Timsbury.
Timsbury? Is that Yorkshire way?
Yeah. No, near Bristol. Well, near Bath.
Oh, you're miles away from there, aren't you? You're down the other way.
Yeah.
I went to the Bristol Hippodrome. Oh, it's a long time ago now, probably about 25 years ago, to see Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and afterwards, it seems that the entire theatre crossed the road and pile into this chip shop. Do you know where I mean or not?
No, I don't. I don't, to be honest, go out of Timsbury.
Do you not, my love?
Because I got anxiety problems.
Right.
So I don't, and plus I got celiac as well.
Celiac, what is that? I'm not sure what that is.
I got to stay away from gluten in wheat.
Oh, right, okay, I'm with you, yeah. Do you have to,
Yeah.
is that a problem when you're going shopping and all that? Do you have to read everything?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. It's like walking on a minefield.
Because that wheat is in almost everything now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Awful.
not nice.
No,
and I
feel sorry.
certainly know if I've ate something I shouldn't ought to have.
What happens? Do you come out in rashes and things like that?
No, I got the belly ache and I got to run to the toilet a bit quick.
Oh, I know what you mean, love. I've got a bit of IBS. I've got a bit of IBS. I'll make you laugh. I do some litter picking on a Saturday. And I've been on the antibiotics for 2 weeks. They finished yesterday, these antibiotics for the chest infection thing. Anyway, of course, you know what antibiotics do to your stomach, don't you?
No.
They make it a bit loose, shall we say. So
it can either go either way. It can either make you run or bunged up.
Yeah. So yesterday I'm doing my litter pick and I'm going around and I thought, oh no. And I'm, a good 20 minutes away from my house now.
No.
When I'm doing my litter picking, if sometimes I wanted a wee, I could just pop in the rhododendrons because we got all these rhododendrons everywhere. They're like wild.
Lovely.
Yeah, they're like a weed round here, aren't they? Anyway, I have been observing the council trimming them back a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I want to go, don't I? And I thought, well, I'll just pop in the rhododendrons. Well, not only have they taken some of them down, they've taken them all down. There was nowhere to hide, Julie. Nowhere to hide. In the end, I had to go behind one of those green telephone boxes. The green cabinet things they have in the street. And there was one of those and some bushes on the other side. But you could see the road from one end to the other. So I had a good look round and I was very quick. And then I was able to pick up the bits of tissue and place them into my litter collecting thing.
Oh, bless.
Have you ever been caught short like that? Where's the worst place you've been?
No, because I don't go far out of the village.
Right. Okay.
And I don't drive neither, so I'm a bit of a boring old devil.
Oh no, you're not. You don't have to go out if you don't want to, Julie. Did you used to?
Do you know what? It'd be lovely to meet you. Whereabouts do you live?
I'm in Bracknell, in Berkshire.
Is that very far from Timsbury?
It probably is actually, yeah. You're kind of I think you're Westwood television area, aren't you?
Yeah.
Near Somerset, near my lovely man Mark Bowles, who I'm still. He won't. Well, he won't ask me out, Julie. I don't understand what it is. I really don't.
Dear.
I mean, the fact that he's, a straight lad is neither here nor there. He just doesn't seem to want to ask me out. I don't get it, to you, Julie. I mean, you would want to go out with me, wouldn't you, Julie?
Oh, definitely, yes.
You see? So I don't know what's wrong with him. I really don't.
No.
Did you used to work, Julie? What did you used to do, love?
Yes, I've just recently retired. I used to be a school cleaner.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I used to work down our school, but I had a bit of a run-in with the new headmaster, and he's total twat, basically.
Yeah. I know what you mean. This is always a problem when the governor changes. Let me guess.
And I thought, I've had enough.
Is he about 40 years old, 35, 40?
Who?
The new governor.
He's about 20.
Oh, so young. Oh, so he's probably come out of university and knows everything. One of those sort of people, is it, Julie?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah. Don't worry, love, it'll soon muck up.
But it's been nice talking to you anyway, my love.
You too, Julie.
And give my love to your sister and your brother-in-law.
I will
And give a big kiss to the 2 dogs.
I will.
And all the family.
Oh, you're lovely. Thank you, Julie.
Okay.
Lovely to talk to you, darling.
Cheers.
All right, bye-bye
okay,
now.
love.
Bye, love.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
What a lovely phone call. There we are, Julie in was it Tewsbury, wasn't it? Tewsbury, something like that. I don't know where that is, but it sounds like it's sort of Somerset way down there somewhere. Thank you very much. All right, so that's the phone number there, and that's how it works. 020-8144-3477. Jason's in the Elephant and Castle. Yeah, I know where you are now, Jason. I used to have to drive round there. I did a quiz night actually in Rotherhithe. I can't remember the name of the place now. It was a lovely little place. It was right on the river. right on the river, this place was, and I used to do a quiz night there on a Tuesday. The only thing it was a blooming nightmare to get there. It was a Tuesday night, and the traffic was horrendous in that whole sort of South London area, trying to get there to start the quiz at 7:30. And coming down the Elephant and Castle and Kennington and all that way, Bermondsey, eventually to Rotherhithe. I cannot remember for the life of me what the name of that pub was, but it was a lovely little place. The only thing is they changed the sound system in there. And they put this new sound system on there. And when I used to speak into the microphone to do the questions, there would be a delay from when I spoke to when it comes out the speakers, and people were moaning all the time. Oh, it seems to be a bit. I said, there's nothing I can do about it. And in the end, I jacked it in. I couldn't get on with the new sound system. It just didn't work properly, or at least as I thought it should work. So I gave that one up. Can I just Rotherhithe Old Pub? Hang on. The manager was a lovely bloke called Paul. Rotherhithe Oldest Pub, maybe. There it is, the Mayflower. It was called the Mayflower, named after one of those tea ships. You know, are they called tea ships? Something like that. The Mayflower pub in Rotherhithe. I believe they still do a quiz night there on a Tuesday, but it was a lovely little pub to do a quiz night. What eventually happened before I left was I wasn't using the microphone anymore, so I was walking round the whole pub and outside reading out the questions like 3 times, once there, and once there. But it just didn't work for me after that. And plus, I'll be honest with you, I was glad to lose the traffic on that one. The traffic in London is just horrendous. It really is. Big G's there. Good evening to Big G. He says, I'm wondering if I'm the only one. As I get older, I'm beginning to have irrational fears. As a younger man, I didn't have many fears, but now I can't do heights, deep water, or drive fast. Is it just me? Oh, you've left something off here, Big G. It should say, I can't do heights, deep water, drive fast, or sing. You left that off on your text message coming through here. You know, do put the whole thing there. No, I think you're right. I think you get a little bit more... I don't know if scared is the word. Cautious. I certainly think you get cautious as you get older. I remember some years ago, I was doing a little DJing job in a skiing resort. And as part of the deal, I could go skiing for nothing, you know. And it's an expensive thing. And I put these bleeding skis on. Oh, no, not for me, love. Not for me. So at this point, I was probably about 45, 46. And I put these skis on. Oh, how do you walk in them bleeding things? And the boots. Oh, those boots. If you've been skiing, you'll know. If you haven't been skiing, you have to put these boots on, which are so uncomfortable, I can't tell you. And you have to try and walk in these boots out of wherever it is you've put them on, into the snow. And I went on this amateur bit. I think the incline was something like that. Just like that. And there were these little kids. This is the thing where you say about the fear. There were these little kids, I don't know, 6, 7 years old, coming in, whoosh, whoosh. They got no fear. It's a little bit like great nephew Harry. When he was about 5, Haven Holiday and his wonderful little tribe, and we were in the swimming pool, and great niece Evie, who would have been a little bit older at the time, I think about 7, she could swim. Harry couldn't swim yet. So there they are, you know, they've got these armbands on. And, you know, if you've got kids, it takes about 8 hours to put armbands on. It takes the kids approximately 2 seconds to get them off again, right? So they got these armbands on, and I observed Evie, there she was, and she was standing there, and she took her armbands. I said, you all right with those armbands? Yeah, Uncle Chris, I can swim. Okay. And she jumped in, she's having a little swim around, and there's Harry's standing there, right? So he was about 5 at the time. And I turned around just to see where my nephew was, and I turned around again, there's Evie, where's Harry? Where's Harry gone? And then I saw the armbands on the... Oh, my God. And there he was, under the bleeding water. Silly little sod. Honestly. He was under listen, you got little kids in a swimming pool. Don't take your eyes off them for 1 second, because they rip those things off and they jump in. Of course, he's copied his sister. You can understand it. Anyway, I saw him and I got over to him and I grabbed it and pulled it out. He's laughing. He's laughing. And that's why I say the kids have no fear whatsoever. They just don't have any fear. Same with the skiing. So, yeah, Big G, I go along with that. I think as you become older, you become cautious. And that's with everything. Not like something which is relatively dangerous, isn't it? Like skiing. That is a dangerous thing, I would say, skiing. And that's whether you're, going on an amateur, a little slope like that. You can still go over and break your leg quite easily. Those bleeding ski things, they hold it in position, don't they? Oh, it's awful skiing. Not for me. Not only that, but even things like me playing the organ, right, at church, which is what I do. Once every 2 weeks now, roughly. Once every 2 weeks, including the one at Boston now. And when I was 20, 21, I'd walk into the church, all cocky, young lad, walk into the church, and with the book, minutes before Mass, pull out some hymns, put them on the board and start playing them. No problem at all. Now I have to practice for 2 weeks before. And I sit at the organ in church worrying constantly I'm going to hit the wrong note or the wrong chord or something like that. And I swear I never did that, but I do now. So I think, yeah, you get more cautious. Perhaps, and here's the weird thing about it, perhaps if I didn't worry about it so much and I didn't practice for 2 weeks, it might be better. And I came across this morning when I was playing once in Royal David City. I do 2 masses, 8:30 and 10:30, right? So I'm playing at the 8:30 once in Royal David's, and I've got the music in front of me. I don't really read music. Just about read the top line. I can often get the timing wrong. I listen and I play. That's how I do it, right? But the music's in front of me. And I'm looking at the music and doing and I've hit a couple of wrong notes. And then it was at the 10:30, I thought, I think I hit those wrong notes because the music's in front of me. So I didn't have it in front of me this time and I played it. No problem at all. Funny, innit? But yeah, I think as you get older, you do become a little bit more scared of certain things. You mentioned heights. I don't do heights. I don't do deep water. I go swimming most days. I'm down to 60 lengths at the moment. I was up to 80, but the flu has taken it out of me a little bit. So I'll get back there eventually. Swimming, well, I don't put my head under the water, Gary, ever. No, might drown. Honestly, so I don't do heights or deep water. I also don't drive fast, Gary. No. Usually 55, 60 mile an hour, maybe 65. So I don't do any of these things. The difference between you and me is I sing. Yeah? Oh, stop it. Gary says, when I'm in a tall building, my legs shake. Well, I should imagine the tall building will shake as you go up the stairs, dear. Lose some weight. When I'm in... Listen, we can say anything on this show. So just a little bit of a laugh. When I went swimming in Hampstead Ponds... Oh, go there, do you? Right, okay. When I go swimming in Hampstead Ponds... How can you go swimming in a pond? Oh, no. All that bacteria and stuff in there. Strange creatures... Little amoebas swimming in. They can swim into any of your holes, It's very dangerous, especially in a foreign country. Yes, very bad. Parasites swim into your various holes. Very dangerous. Ears are particularly vulnerable. Obviously you could put something in your ears and up your nose, I suppose. But, you can't plug everything up, can you, Gary? I mean, maybe you've got a few plugs in now. I don't know. I don't know what you're into, lovey. He says, when I went swimming in Hampstead Ponds, but I'm not sure if it was the deep water or all these old queens looking at me in my Speedos that terrified me. I would imagine they're terrified of you. I've got to tell you, this bloke, Big G is his name, he was at the karaoke on New Year's Eve. And then my most unfavourite part of the night come, where everyone wants to kiss and hug you. And I saw him at the corner of my eye coming over. It was like that as he was coming over. Oh, Chris, come here, like that. Oh, no. All the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. It was awful. You know when people force themselves on you? You know, it's a bit like that. If I was a Gen Z, I'd probably take you to court now, but I'm not. I just take things as they come. Oh, I'm really offended. He touched me without asking. Oh, please. Do us a favour, will you? Sue and Sarah are there. Good evening to the lovely Sue and Sarah. Evening to you. I am feeling better. Thank you very much. The cough is actually still here. I was having a good cough just before the show, actually, but it seems to have stopped again now, so fingers crossed there. Kelly and Simon are there. Good evening to lovely Kelly and Simon. Good evening to Dean. Evening to Dean. Mark Bowles says it's like pulling teeth. Yeah, I won't read the rest of that, Mark. Do you think if we was to have a conversation in real life rather than over the internet, would that be like pulling teeth, do you think, Mark? Or pulling something? I mean, I don't know what, teeth, whatever, you know. Long time since I had a tooth out. Last time I had teeth out was, I think it was 16, and I had to take out 2 of them because I had was buck tooth. I was like that. I was sticking out teeth at the front. Yeah, and so they took out two at the back, top, and 2 at the bottom, and then I had all the metal work on my teeth, you know, pulling it all back, which has resulted in grooves. But, you know, that's how it is. At least they don't stick out now, anyway. Jet from Canterbury there. Good evening to Jet, who says, a cloud is... We got a fact here from Jet. A cloud weighs around 1 million tons. A cloud typically has a volume of around 1 kilometre cubed and a density of around 1.003 kilogram per metre cubed. That's a density of around 0.4% lower than the air surrounding it. Sorry, Jet, but what is this to do with, darling? Is it cloudy outside? I don't know. It's too dark now. I tell you what's bleak and cold, isn't it? Oh, no. I don't like the cold weather. But I will be getting out for it for a week next Sunday, hopefully. Good evening to Rob Shaggy Kershaw. Hello to you. Hello to you, sir. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Thank you very much. Vera likes skiing. Oh, no. Not for me skiing, Vera. I've tried it. Is it once? I think I only tried it once. I had this DJ job in France and Italy, and which I did for about 5 years. It was one week per year, and wasn't very well paid, but it was quite nice. You know, you got your own room and all the food and everything else going on there, so that was quite nice. But it's not for me, that skiing. I'm glad you like it, and if you do like it, great. You know. Go tearing down those hills at like warp factor 15, don't you? Marvellous. Evening to Debs. Evening to Debs. Oh, my God, I missed you today. Missed you today. She says, Timsbury is near Bath, North East Somerset in the television southwest area. Thank you very much, Debs. I'm very busy. Mass was all right this morning. It was okay, the 8:30. You know, did they struggle? No, not really, actually. It wasn't too bad at all. It was very quiet, so I just turned the organ up a bit more. Forced them to listen to me playing a little bit more. Mark, can't remember the last time anything was pulled. Well, I mean, it could be later tonight if you get a train. Mark, Bracknell train station is where you... Let me know when you're there, and I'll come and pick you up in the car. I won't even make you sit on the back of my bike. Yeah, well, I'd be sitting in front of you, obviously. Thank you, Mark. Okay, don't forget, there's a phone number if you want to call in, 0208 144 3477. Let's just check our emails. And Ian's there. Good evening to Ian. Hello to you, sir. Ian and Julie in Gloucestershire. Welcome along to the show, you two. And Mr. John Dixon is there. Happy 2026, Chris Reardon. Thank you very much, John. I just checked the spam. We did have a couple of emails drop into the spam last week. I never understand how that happens, you know, because you're like, the people that drop into the spam are not businesses. What makes that email go into the spam folder? You know? I can't remember who it was now. We got Rob and Robbie and Pauline are there as well. Robbie and Pauline. Hello, Chris. Glad you sound a little bit better. Yeah, it's slow coming along. It's quite slow coming along, but I was able to sing as well this morning. So I say sing, you know. I use the term very loosely, to be honest. I mean, a Big G uses the term very loosely as well. So there we are. Okay, yeah. So isn't that weird? Has anyone else... Let's just go back to the crisps story there. For some reason, my favourite crisps are no longer cheese and onion, and they have been that since Lord knows when. Honestly, I remember going to church with my mum on a Wednesday night where they had this thing called benediction, right? And I was about 8, 9 years old, serving on the altar, and I used to do this every Wednesday night. And we go there, and on the way home, we'd stop at a not a newsagent. Oh, they got them on the side of pubs, or they used to have them on the side off licence. We used to stop at this off licence, and she would get me a bottle of Coca-Cola and a bag of Chipmunk cheese and onion crisps. No chipmunks. I want to, just in case we got vegans and vegetarians. I'm a vegetarian myself. Yeah. Just in case, no chipmunks were hurt in the creation of the Chipmunk cheese and onion crisps. And I always remember having those. And then sometimes we had Smith's crisps. I think it depended what they have in. And very occasionally Golden Wonder. And they were always cheese and onion. They were my favourite flavour and have remained so for years and years. Well, when I had the flu, just after the flu, once I picked up my appetite again, I was out doing my shopping and I thought I was just going to get some crisps. Probably one of the worst possible things you can possibly buy, and it crisps, just full of salt and fat and all that stuff. But we love them. I much prefer a bag of crisps to like a bar of chocolate or a packet of sweets or maybe even an ice cream. I've gone off ice cream a bit now. Certainly the Ben and Jerry's, £5.75 a tub or whatever it is. Unless you've got the special offer, because the Co-op often have one of those on special offer. Keep an eye out for that. £3.50, £3.60, £3.70. Yeah, once you go over £3.75 for a tub, I think they're taking the mick. And I won't pay it. £5.50, absolutely not. That being said, if you do your shopping in Marks and Spencer's or Waitrose, you'll be used to those sort of prices. I'm not. I do most of my stuff in Aldi. That being said, I was in Marks and Spencer's today, and I bought I hate to say, some prepared vegetables, peeing in the microwave, and also a couple of ready meals in there. Total cost about 36 quid. But I did have 2 bags of shopping, so that's okay. And it was Tesco's. I was in there, and for some reason I thought, I don't want cheese and onion. I want salt and vinegar. I fancy salt and vinegar this time. And I bought salt and vinegar crisps. And that's strange. After all that time, maybe I'll go back again, I don't know. My new favourite crisps are salt and vinegar. And there is a brand, I can't remember what one it is now. Is it the little dry ones? Discos, where the salt and vinegar is actually quite cutting, and if you have a little bite like that, and you breathe in, and the vinegar cuts down the back of your throat. And if you've got any sort of sore throat, you're a little bit like that. Anyone else find that? What are your favourite flavour crisps, as a matter of interest? Okay, let me know. Send us a text 07451 287 337. Or if you can't do that, use the email chris@chrisreardon.co.uk. Just a reminder, if you're in the chat box, I am not in the chat box. It's impossible for me to go in there and pull out the messages for me among all the general conversation in there. All right, my darlings. So I'm not in the chat box, but you can send me a message by one of those other methods, either a text if you're in the UK, 07451 287 337, or indeed you can send an email, chris@chrisreardon.co.uk, as indeed Matt Martins has done in Canada. Hello, Matt. Funny you're there, Matt. We had 2 lovely people from Ontario, Canada yesterday turn up at the karaoke I do. Just in case you don't know, I do host a little karaoke in London twice a week, boys and girls, on Friday and Saturday nights, although I'm about to take a little holiday there, so maybe I won't mention it this time. But I do host this karaoke. And we had 2 people turn up from Canada. How did they know about it? They saw us on YouTube. They saw us on YouTube, and this has happened a few times now, where people from wonderful faraway places like Canada, America, we've had Australians in who have seen our live karaoke stream, because I do have a karaoke channel. It's called Karaoke London, okay? So at some point, type in Karaoke London to your YouTube. That is the name of the channel. It should come up at the top there. And quite apart from streaming it live, you can watch recordings. I must warn you, I do swear a little bit there because it's like a live situation. It's not nasty swearing, like, you know, you nasty. It's not like that. It's within the context and trying to be funny, although I'm not always funny. I'm not, honestly. Anyway, Matt's there in Canada, who says, joining you for the first live show of 2026 and to wish you a happy new year. Thank you very much, Matt, and a big happy new year to you as well, sir. Do you have fireworks in Canada? I'm not a massive fan of banging fireworks anymore, because I just all these little cats and dogs, they're terrified of the banging, and you don't need it. You really don't need it. You can buy silent fireworks and they don't go bang. You get some nice flashes in the sky. Even some of the Disney ones, when you go to Disney, if you've been lucky enough to go to Disney, even some of those, you know, they go little stars everywhere and no bang. And I think that's better. Anyway, Matt says, been having many nights in Winnipeg where the temperatures have been below, you ready for this? -30. I did wonder with those Canadians last night, actually, Matt. And they were an older couple, even a little bit older than me, I think, to be honest. Excuse me. And they walked in, you know, and there I am, a big thick jumper on and a hat. I think I might have lost my Mickey Mouse hat. Terrible. I'm sure I've left it at work. I've lost my Mickey Mouse hat. Shocking. And I was in there last night, and these two Canadians they came in T-shirts. It's like summer to them. 1 degree centigrade. Oof, they're taking coats and things off because they're used to -30. I've never experienced -30. I don't know what the lowest I have experienced is. Probably -7, 8 or something like that. We don't have those temperatures here, and thank God we don't, mate. You know, I mean, what sort of heating do you have, Matt? Do you have electric heat pumps there? And if so, how do they cope? Because these electric heat pumps, and I have a couple of air conditioning things. You can't sit there. I have a couple of air conditioning things in the house. I've got 4 rooms air conditioned. Bedroom here, kitchen and living room, right? And it also chucks out hot air. And actually, I hardly use my boiler at all now here, my gas boiler. I usually just have my air conditioning on hot, and it warms up a room very quickly. The only thing is, if it's freezing cold outside, now and again, the air conditioning stops, literally. And it has to thaw out, you know, the big fan thing outside. What's that called? Compressor. They actually freeze, okay? And then they have to defrost it. I've got exactly the same at my caravan up in Lincolnshire, a rusty old caravan. It's nothing special, nothing new, but it does me, you know, it's dry and actually it's warm. But when the thing freezes up, it stops and you don't get any hot air come out. And it's not too bad in here, you know, 10, 15 minutes while it defrosts, it's all right. Up at the caravan, well, that's a different story altogether. You know, once it switches off, it very, very quickly cools down in a caravan, just like being in a car. And I do see a lot of stories on Facebook because I belong to various groups. I don't usually comment. I don't some of those people on Facebook, they just don't appear to know how to be nice to each other. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. You know, they're just horrible. And you know what I hate about Facebook? It's like when you're on a subject, or perhaps you're on a group, for example, a heat pump group, and you are new on there, and you put a little question, you know, or can someone tell me the setting, da-da-da-da-da, I've tried this, but and I don't know what to do. Can anyone advise me? And someone will answer, this question has been answered so many times. Why don't you do a search on the group? Why don't you just answer them? Be nice and just answer them. That's a horrible thing. Have you tried searching on Facebook for stuff? Constantly searching. I have great trouble searching for stuff on the internet. I never find anything. I think that might be an age thing, 62. My nephew, who's 40, he don't seem to have any trouble finding anything on there. He just types in and up come all the answers. And if I want to know something, he's straight on there. Or order something, you know. If I want to order something, often I can't find what that is. Oh, Gary, I'm trying to find that. And 1 second later, there you go. And there'll be a link arrived on my mobile phone or something like that. So do you have heat pumps out there? I would assume the houses in Canada are much more better insulated than they are here. Matt says, been having many nights in Winnipeg where the temperatures have been below minus 30 centigrade, that is, over the last few weeks. If you can send any heat over from your trip to the Canary Islands, it would be greatly appreciated. I should do my best, Matt. I should. What I'll do is take some jam jars over to the Canary Islands, open them on a warm day, and then quickly close them again and send them direct to you in Canada. We'll have to ask you to pay the postage, my love. Okay, I don't think that will go through as a tax-deductible item, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. Thank you, Matt. All right. Hello to Sean. Hello, Sean. Hello to you. Found you through YouTube recommending the karaoke. Such a unique and great idea. I'm amazed it's not more popular. I think a lot more people would watch if they knew about it. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, the Karaoke London is the YouTube channel I've done. And I've been doing it for years. And I, too, am amazed, Sean, that not more people watch that. Because I've yet to find anyone else in the world that does it. I'll be honest, sometimes you get like a copyright warning on there, and I'm very careful on this particular show that I'm doing now not to play music, because once you start doing that, you can run into copyright issues. Not always, but with the amount of music at the karaoke night that we play, and this is not just the little songs in between people singing, you know, like when you might be playing, I don't know, ABBA or Britney Spears or Jason Mraz, just little bits of it while one singer is leaving the stage and the next one comes up. I try and do it as quickly as I can. I try and get the singers on really quickly. Some people are so blooming slow coming up on the stage. Toby's the worst one. There's a bloke called Toby. If you've watched the show, you'll know exactly who I mean. And he likes to come from right at the back. And as he comes over, Toby, please. And he likes to shake everyone's bleeding hands. Listen, mate, you're a karaoke singer, same as me. We're not stars. We're just karaoke singers. So for God's sake, get on the stage and do your number. And we do have a laugh with Toby. And if you didn't know already, and I'm sure you do, he's in on the joke. He loves it. He loves the tate-a-tate that me and him have going backwards and forwards. And it does work quite well. He's been in Paris, if you're wondering where he is. I'm not sure when he's back. I'm there again on Friday. So the next live karaoke stream on the channel Karaoke London, You could subscribe to it now if you wanted to and have that little bell come on. Will be on Friday night round about. I always put 8 o'clock on there. Often it starts at about 7:30, 20 to 8. It just depends how many people are in, because obviously, if there's only 1 or 2 in at that point, you don't want to see the same 2 people coming on the stage and crucifying all the songs. Especially Big G. I mean, can you just imagine that if Big G turned up early and he was one of the only people there? Oh my Lord! I mean, I'd have to throw a sickie. Thank you there. George says my favourite crisps are I know those. Pom Bears. I know those little Pom Bears. Small packets, aren't they? Yeah, I know, but I find them a bit tasteless, those ones. Pom Bears crisps. Actually, George, who you know at the karaoke, he always brings me in sweets or biscuits or something like that. And he bought me in these panda biscuits this week. You don't want me to get them, do you? No, they're downstairs. He bought me in panda biscuits, which look quite nice. I might have one of those later on. Vera, here we go. Look, her favourite potato, cheese and onion crisps. I love the flavour. Very, very strong. Very, very strong. Irish, aren't they? Yeah, I've always felt very close to the Irish. I don't feel it's like another country. Do you know? It's funny, isn't it? Probably because my nan was Irish, Nanny Ryan. Yeah, she was a lovely lady. Very, very Catholic. Every day, church. Every morning at church she was. Lovely lady. Jason hasn't had crisps for over a year. Gosh. But over Christmas, I bought 4 big bags of cheese and onion crisps. I finished each bag within 1 hour. An hour to eat a bag of crisps? Blimey, how big were they, love? An hour? Cool, dear. In 10 minutes, I can demolish 3 packets out of one of those variety bags. I particularly like the smoky bacon flavour. Don't say it. Oh, but you're vegetarian. Yes, there's no dead animals in those, dear. It's just flavouring. There's no bits of dead pigs in there, love. Flavouring. Smoky bacon, that's nice, isn't it? Variety crisps. 3 of those will go in 10 minutes, mate. An hour to eat a bag of crisps. Have you got a problem with your teeth? Pop over to Turkey. You can look like those strange people that have been over to Turkey. Mind you get the holiday as well, don't you? Has anyone done the turkey teeth thing, as a matter of interest? Anyone done that at all? If you have, give us a call. Phone number's down the bottom there, 020 8144 3477. Do you book it? Do you go to Turkey and immediately go and have your teeth done? Or do you go to Turkey, have a little bit of holiday for a week, then get your teeth and come home? Or do you go to Turkey, immediately get your teeth done when you get there, and then have a holiday after that and then come back? How does all that work? I mean, I don't need any done. My sister said she'd do that. She'd go to Turkey and have her teeth done. I'd be too worried something goes on here, like Big G saying. I'd be too worried something went wrong. Once you've left there and you got back here, you're at the mercy of the NHS, aren't you? Good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. The NHS are fantastic once you're in the door. Once you're in the door, it's great. It's getting in that door. That's the difficulty. When I had the flu and I ended up at A&E, they were straight on me. Very, very impressive. Emergency. But if you're going for a routine thing, and I have a gallstone that needs to be looked at, that they found on one of those scanning, like the pregnant ladies have. I had one of those scans on my tummy, and they discovered a gallstone. Well, it's been about two months now, waiting for the hospital to contact me. You could pay, I suppose, I don't know, £4,000, £5,000, £6,000. Is it a problem? Now and again, yeah, it is at the moment. It wasn't while I had the flu, oddly enough. Roy in Fulham. Hello, Roy. Oh, Farnham, I beg your pardon, Roy. Roy in Farnham likes Marmite crisps. There's some nice crisps, but they're a bit greasy, those ones, Roy, don't you find? Those Marmite crisps are a little bit greasy, but yes, very, very nice indeed. Thank you very much. Kelly and Simon. Kelly prefers mini cheddars and twiglets. The Twiglets always remind me of, you know, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, do you remember the episode when he had a party, I think, in his flat or something. He was bringing out all this food. And I think someone asked for Twiglets and he went out, pulled some twigs off a tree outside and cut them up and put them on plates. And these people... Twiglets, very salty. Roy, hello Roy, in the Thames television area, likes, oh yes, Lay's crisps. Now Lay's are actually Walkers, okay? But if you go to America, a lot of Europe, they're called Lay's crisps. He likes tomato ketchup crisps from Latvia, as they're thick, big bags, 130 grams. My word, about the same as 6 bags of crisps. I find them in those Eastern European shops by £4.50 a bag. Gosh. I like Lay's barbecue crisps. Don't think you can get them here. Whenever I go to America, and I love going to America, it's one of my favourite places to visit. I love the whole Disney thing, and then going around the shops and buying them. This shirt come from America. What's his name? Thomas? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's an outlet place. They have these places. They do all this stuff dirt cheap. This was about 60 quid. But you look at Robert Graham. That's it, Robert Graham. You look at Robert Graham shirts here. 250 quid for one shirt. One shirt. People pay that. Roy would probably pay that for a shirt. No, he wouldn't. He's as tight as anything, Roy, believe it or not. Yeah. So the Robert Graham shirts, and there's a shop in International Drive in Orlando, in one of the outlets. I think it's at the Vineyard outfit. And you go in this shop and there's hundreds of these, all different beautiful colours and all that. Nothing boring. No, like plain black, white, grey. Oh, how boring is that? No, beautiful, like patterns and everything in there. And I spent 600 quid in there. Yeah. But that was part that I had already decided to do that before I went. Yeah, so I've saved the money. You know, I was ready for it. I was all ready for it. You know, on the American Express card, get 1% back. 1%. They're so generous. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Roy. So he likes the Lay's Walkers, and as I say, I like the Lay's barbecue ones there. Big G, best crisps, salt and vinegar. Here we are, the cheap ones in Asda, full of flavour. Love them. I don't think I've had the Asda ones. No. Paul's in Cornwall. Hello, Mr. Sparky. Evening. They've got snow in Cornwall. Rather you than me, mate. I ate it. I ate snow. I ate it. I've spun 2 cars on snow. I absolutely hate getting the car out if there's any sort of ice or snow on the road, because once I was on the motorway and I wasn't going fast. 30 mile an hour, I was going up and round this corner, and it just went. And I ended up I hit the side, it spun round and ended up facing the wrong way in the right overtaking lane. And there was nothing coming the other way. Managed to get out of it, and there'd been some hailstones come down, and I didn't really think about hailstones anyway. And then coming down this hill, and there was a car stopped in front of me, and I hit the brake, and the car just carried on. Oh my God, and this car's getting closer and closer, but I was going very slow, maybe 5, 6, 7 mile an hour, and there was a high curb. So I steered it slightly to the left, and it hit the curb, and it stopped the car. You couldn't do that at speed though, you know. Vera, Lay's, Brannigan's beef and mustard. Now there's a nice flavoured crisp as well. Beef and mustard crisps. Again, there's no beef in there. Suitable for vegetarians. They like those, but they've stopped making them, have they? Marks and Spencer fire chili crisps. Ooh, they sound hot. I quite like the Marks and Spencer honey roast crisps, not the half fat ones. They're always a bit dry, aren't they? You know, eating those, those half-fat crisps or the baked crisps baked crisps. It must be like, you know that piece of sandpaper you get at the bottom of a budgerigars page? It must be like tearing a piece of that off and eating that. Not nice. No. Got to have proper crisps or not at all. Vera says the Lay's crisps in China is funky. Are they nice there? And George, another thing I like, crisps as well as Pringles. He likes Pringles. Yeah, a lot of people like Pringles. Yeah, again, the barbecue Pringles are really nice. Just a reminder, gang, if you're sending me messages in the chat box, I'm not in the chat box, okay? You'll need to get to a message to me, send a text 07451287337 or email chris@chrisreardon.co.uk, or you can call me if you want to on the phone and we can have a little chat on the phone, 020-8144-3477. And Matt in Canada has come back to us with this regarding your questions. Even though it can be below 30 degrees centigrade, we still venture out in Canada on New Year's Eve. Are you mad? Are you mad? On New Year's Eve, and it take in a very elaborate fireworks. Now that my children are not babies anymore, they handle the loud sounds better, so we typically take part as well as on July the 1st for Canada's birthday. Regarding crisps, and for crisps, if you're American watching the show, potato chips, we're talking. Crisps are the same to us as your potato chips, all right? Regarding crisps, my favourite is Lay's Walker's Salt and Vinegar. Haven't had those. When in the UK, however, I opt for Walker's Cheese and Onion in the blue bag. And it's funny, the colours of the bags, they changed over the years, because blue always used to be salt and vinegar and green was cheese and onion. I don't know why they changed the colours round. Blue is cheese and onion now, and green is salt and vinegar. So at some point they changed round the colours of the bags, and I've no idea why. No idea why. Concerning heating, houses are extremely well insulated, as you'd imagine, and the majority of homes have natural gas furnaces, which is what I have. Do you mean a boiler, or is that a different thing? I mean, I have a gas boiler here, which I hardly use now. Is a gas furnace, is that a boiler, or is it something completely different? And you also mentioned here electric furnaces that have elements inside them and force the heated air through all the vents in the... warm air heating. You got warm air heating. That's what we call it here. Warm air heating. I did have that in this house when I first moved here about 35 years ago, but I took it out. The trouble with that blooming thing is once you turn the boiler off, it just cools down really quickly, doesn't it? He says the air is forced throughout all the vents in the home through central heating configuration. Thank you very much. Chris, if you ever like to plan to visit Canada in your lifetime, I'd encourage you to do so between May and October, where the temperatures will remain between 15 and 30 degrees centigrade. 30 is about my maximum comfort zone. 30. And even at that point, it's getting a little bit hot now. I couldn't go to somewhere like Dubai. 45, 46, 50 degrees. How do people survive in that? Not only that, I've no interest in visiting Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Arab Emirates. Those places have never really appealed to me. I don't know why. No reason for it. I don't fancy that. Don't fancy that at all. I tell you where I'd like to go now. Don't you be surprised, maybe? China. I keep coming across TikTok videos of China and the technology there and the transport systems and all that. It is just they are far, far ahead of anything we've got here, or in America, I think, as well, honestly. Really, I mean, you see some of these videos. There's no rubbish anywhere on the streets, or at least not on the TikToks that I've seen. You know, I'd quite like China. Eating would be a problem, though, you see, because I'm a bit English with the eating. That being said, I've started eating Indian food. Jalfrezi. I bought my friend at the church, Sheila, her husband, makes this halloumi jalfrezi. Oh my God. And you put it in a microwave, because obviously he's done it, and I reheat it, and the smell comes out. Anyway, last week I am coming back from my trip to Lincolnshire for Christmas. I stopped at Waitrose and I got a jar of jalfrezi sauce. Well, I bought 2 jars. Well, I've had them both this week. With some halloumi. It is absolutely delicious Indian food. Chinese, I'm sorry, especially if you're Chinese, no disrespect, it's just not for me. I don't like them. I don't know what it's. Maybe I should force myself to try it. I mean, there must be plenty of vegetarian Chinese food out there, mustn't there? Anyway, thanks very much, Matt, for that there. Robbie, Chris, we used to be in Finland with the temperature minus 26. Rather you than me, Rob. Blimey. Minus 26. Straight out the sauna and into the freezing lake. Yeah, why do you lot do that? I've seen this. They're absolutely potty in Finland and Norway, right? So they've got these lovely warm saunas. Now, a sauna, not really for me. Don't mind a steam room. Sauna, no. It's just too dry for me. But they've got these saunas, and I presume steam rooms as well, in Norway, Finland, places like that. And they're not part of the house. They seem to be these wooden structures close to the house. So they all pile into these things, take off all their clothes, right? Sitting there, boiling their breasts off, and then they throw open the doors and start rolling around in the snow. Are you mad? Why would you put yourself through all that? Don't tell me it can be good for you. What about thermal shock? I mean, I get that practically every day I go in a swimming pool. Thermal shock. Actually, the pool I go to isn't too bad. The council run one here. I don't think it's run by the council. Virgin Active. I think they rent it from the council. I don't know what the politics of it is. But that pool, that's the public pool round here. Oh my God. It is always below 10 degrees centigrade, which amazes me because it's not frozen. Must put some sort of salt in there or something to stop the water freezing, I would imagine. But this council pool is so cold. And I used it for about 6 months. And then I'll never forget, it was a Christmas Eve or just before Christmas. And I had my bag packed and I thought, do you know what? I don't want to get in that cold pool today. And that's what it was. I wanted to do my exercise. I did not want to get... And I stopped. That was it. So I went to the village up the road. It's like a hotel with a gym and swimming pool. I'll probably be going up to the gym after the show tonight, and I'll be up there for not long. I don't do like massive weights like the youngsters do. Quite late. I think more. I think part of it is just being there among other people. To be honest, yeah, I think that's part of it. Being up there, and they're a fairly friendly bunch up there actually. It'll be mainly youngsters up there tonight, during the daytime, mainly people sort of my age. There's some lovely people up there, really nice. Some of the old dears, I swear they're not doing anything at all. They just sit on the machine and wait for someone to go on the machine next to them so they have someone to talk to. But that's okay. That's okay, isn't it? Yes, Robbie's saying in Finland it was minus 26, straight out of the sauna and into the freezing lake. Weird. He says, didn't really feel the cold, but never dared put your head under as you would pass out. Happy days, says Robbie. Yeah, I know that head under the water thing. There is an outdoor pool in Lincolnshire. Which is closed now. They close October to April, and come April they'll be open again. And on a cold day there, obviously April and in October, that's starting to get cold, isn't it? And you go in the pool, and the pool is never cold. It's lovely. And you're going up and down in this pool. But anything sticking out of the pool, like your head, for example, it is quite cold, especially hair. Fortunately, I don't have any hair to trap the cold air. But yeah, and the worst part of it, coming out of the pool and walking back into the changing room. Oh, my sister does it every day, 6:30 in the morning. Obviously not at the moment. Well, she goes to another pool at the moment because that one's closed. 6:30, and she doesn't like to go any later than that. That's her thing now. She gets up, she drives to that swimming pool 6:30 in the morning. And I'm very proud of her for doing that, actually. And she's been doing that over a year now. It shocks me when she started doing that. I thought, she's what? Really? You know, a bit like that, really. But there you go. Thank you, Sean. Sean went up to his sister's with 3 18-packs of Tato Christmas boxes. Now, you are talking, my friend. You are talking. I'm not trying to take... Do you have salt and vinegar? I would presume Tato salt and vinegar. They were Irish crisps. They were well received. For the record, flavoured crisps are an Irish invention. Apparently, we needed more incentives to do potatoes, to eat potatoes. Well, and very nice they are too, Sean. Very, very nice they are too. I must get over to Ireland at some point. I can't understand why I've never been there. Jet in Canterbury, she went to an Asian shop where I live, and I was shocked at the crisp flavours that they had. The best ones were Lay's duck tongue. Oh, yeah, obviously I'm vegetarian, but tongue. I don't know how anyone can eat someone's tongue. It's bad enough when I bite my own. How does that happen? Why? How is it like you can go weeks and months and months and months eating, and then one day you're eating, and then you beat your own tongue? How does that happen? It's weird, isn't it? How things happen like that. Anyway, she says the best ones were Lay's duck tongue. I didn't buy them. I hope you didn't. Oh no, don't sound nice to me, I'm afraid. Jason, on the subject of holidays, he likes Gran Canaria, Jumbo Centre. Oh, I'm a bit old to go there now. I was terrible there, Jason. That's all I'm saying. And Stidges is nice. I haven't been to Stidges before. And Big G, apparently the crisp packet's colour never changed. It's called the Mandela effect. Walker's Crisps insist it's never happened. Try Google it. Yes, they blooming well did. They used to be the other way round. Golden Wonder and Smith's. The cheese and onion were green. And the salt and vinegar was blue. I know they were. They were. Then Walker's came along. Now, maybe Walker's came along and immediately adopted the other colours. So perhaps they've never changed colour. But certainly the Golden Wonder and the Smith's Crisps, it was cheese and onion, they were green, and the salt and vinegar ones were blue. I know that. You know. Good. There we go. Unread. Paul, I went to Dubai. The heat was... oh, why can't I get that message? 1 minute. Can't get that message up. Messenger. Oh. Try again. There we go. No. You've got... I can see... I went to Dubai. The heat was... Oh, hang on. Maybe if I... Oh, there we go. I went to Dubai. The heat was... Why can't I get that up? Oh, well. And I can't get Vera's message up either. How strange. I can see the start of it. But then I can't get the blooming message up. Oh, that's odd. I went to Dubai. The heat was too much for us. We stayed there 2 nights. Then Bangladesh. The hotel there had air conditioning, but it was so hot there. But the chili balls crisps are so nice. Chili balls. And Vera, it's not like the food here. It's so much better. She reckons. In China, I presume. Like, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you want a proper Chinese meal, go to China. You want a proper Indian meal, go to India. I'm sure they're very nice here, but it's not quite the same, is it? All right. So that's a nice holiday in the sun. Anyone else going away anywhere? If so, where are you going? And when? When are you going? I am hoping to go next week. I wasn't going to go. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't going to go. Because of my chest and flu. However, I think I've recovered enough to be able to go, so I'm going. And basically, next Saturday, I'll be jumping in the car and going to the Premier Inn at Gatwick Airport. I've taken a leaf out of my sister's book here, and I now, if I'm going away, I've decided I will go and stay at a hotel first near the airport, thus taking away all the worry. What if something goes wrong on the road? I mean, it could still go wrong on the road. It could still happen. Could still happen in that short journey from the hotel to the airport car park. It could still happen, couldn't it? But you've cut out any problem there might be, like on the M25 or the M3. When you've got like loads of traffic and there's some sort of accident and you can't get to the airport, you've taken that error out of it. So on the Saturday, I'll be going to the Premier Inn, one of the Premier Inns at Gatwick. Obviously, I can't tell you which one because people will turn up, and wanting to take pictures with me because I am an international star, as you well know. It's just how it is, People, it's terrible when you're in a supermarket. People grabbing your clothes, and you can feel like pairs of scissors coming out and trying to take a little snippet of my hair so that they can put it in a locket and put it around their necks. I'm only joking. So I get to the airport, have a night there. I'll probably get there. I don't know, not too late. And then in the morning, I've got to be up early because it is a 7:30 a.m. flight. Not the best time to be getting on a blooming plane, I tell you. But that's what it is, and that's the only one BA had. I don't know if EasyJet had different ones, but I only fly on BA. So I'm on there. Got the nice seat on the plane, so I'll be able to use the lounge first, have a little breakfast in there probably, and then jump on the plane to Future Ventura, which is where I'm going to. Now, my sister's been there 3 times, and she's got a lovely lady called Nina, who I keep meaning to contact her, who has offered to pick me up from the airport and take me to the hotel, and then I think she'd take me back from the hotel as well. I don't know. So that's a really nice thing that has been offered to me. So I'll contact her, and the reason is it's number one, very obviously I won't expect her to do it for nothing. I'll change up some euros and give her some money for it. But it's very expensive to get from the airport to the hotel. There's no Uber on Future Ventura, okay? So you're at the mercy of whatever they want to charge you in their various minicabs. And of course, they've got to make a living. I get that, but it's only a small island. And I don't see why it's so dear to travel in a cab. My sister reckons I should just hire a car out there because it's like 15 quid a day or something really silly like that. It's really cheap to hire a car in Future Ventura. The only thing is, it bothers me hiring a car. They put it under a microscope when it gets back. Oh, there's a little scratch there. That's £1,000, please. And you get all that old stuff. When I've been to America, I've used Uber extensively over there. And actually, when you work out how much you've spent on Uber cabs and how much it would have been to hire a car in America, along with all the various insurances that they want to sell you, there's not much in it. I think I worked it out, and I'd actually spent less money using an Uber every single day, going to Disney or going to the shops, or even I went to Santa Monica when I was in California back in June. I even went there. And adding it all up, you like to do your bit, I think it comes to about 450 quid. And it was cheaper than hiring a car by about 100 quid over the course of the 2 weeks. And actually, I don't think I included the insurance. I think I just looked at the higher car charge. Of course, you could say, really, don't think that it's an inconvenience getting an Uber. It's not. Okay? Okay, it might take you a little bit longer to wait for an Uber rather than go out to the car park, get in your car and drive off. But honestly, it's minutes. You're not sitting there waiting half an hour for an Uber. Unless maybe you're coming out of Disney. And if you're coming out with everyone else, that can be a little bit, Yeah, because there's hundreds of people all waiting for these cars which are coming round in a big circle. That's a bit of an effort, but it is what it is, So do think about that. Now, they don't have that in Future Ventura, from what I gather, Uber there, although they do have the mini cabs. So this a lady called Nina has very, very, very kindly offered to pick me up from the airport, take me to the hotel, and back again the other way. And I'll probably meet up with her. I'll give her some money for that, and perhaps buy her and her husband a little meal. The hotel I'm staying at is all-inclusive one, and I think the last time I went to an all-inclusive hotel was in the Caribbean in St. Lucia, where I was best man for one of my friend's weddings. Best man for my friend's wedding. And he married a lovely Irish girl who very, very sadly died some years later from the blooming breast cancer. Just terrible, really. And they have a lovely daughter as well called Liz. I can't think of the daughter's name now. I haven't seen him for years. But he doesn't live too far from here. Actually, I should give him a ring, really, and meet up with our sort of old friends now and again. I was in the Scouts with him, you see. Yeah, a nice bloke he was. And that was an all-inclusive place, and it's all right. Food is fairly basic, I suppose. So breakfast, dinner, I suppose lunch is included as well. I don't drink, so I kind of miss out on the whole free drink thing. I'm quite teetotal. I don't really do fizzy drinks either. Coca-Cola, maybe 2 or 3 cans a year. Seriously, a year. I don't mind a mocktail. But I found the slightest bit of alcohol, and I have a 2-hour sleep in the afternoon. So even when I've been staying at some of these really nice posh hotels, like once a year, maybe twice a year, I go to Claridge's in London, and you can have like a glass of champagne and all that. I don't even have that now because I just feel like rubbish, couple of hours after you go for a sleep, wake up and oh God, where's my cup of tea and a bit like that. So I don't mind that. But I like mocktails. I do like a mocktail. I had this strawberry one in Claridge's. It was really nice, actually. And another drink I quite like, Wild Idol. Non-alcoholic sparkling wine. Oh, my God, that's nice. My friend Debs, but I don't know if Debs is with us, I think, tonight. She may or may not still be with us. I don't know. But that's really nice. A wine called Wild Idol. Sparkling wine it is. Very, very nice. Non-alcoholic. Shania's there. Good evening, Shania. Sorry I'm late. Parish Epiphany Carol service. Thank you, Shania. I'm doing the 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Yeah, I'm doing the 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. Playing organ for Epiphany. We three kings of Orient are, and various other ones. Gang, anyone else want to call in? 020-8144-3477. Tell us if you're going on holiday. Are you going on holiday somewhere? Let us know. Or send us a text, 07451 287 337. Or use the email, chris@chrisreardon.co.uk. Just interested if you're going away anywhere, really. Might be close, might be a lot. Maybe you're one of those people going to Australia. Travel insurance. Oh, I'll come to that in a moment. Matt Martin says, one thing I completely forgot, Matt's in Canada, forgot to mention is that since we are now in 2026, it means we are coming up on 20 years since I first watched your show. Yeah, believe it or not, that's how long I've been doing this. It's been a long time. Started off as an audio-only show, and then some years down the line, someone said, why don't you put a little webcam in front of you? And it wasn't the quality like it is now. It was a bit pixelated, I think is the word you're using. But things have come on now. And as some of you know, watching on a big telly at home, you can see the quality of this. It's just a little webcam in front of me. That's all it is. Amazing, isn't it, what we've got now? Sometimes I'm a little bit jealous of the youngsters. And I think what I might have been able to achieve if we had all this when we were younger, we didn't. I mean, I had a little pirate radio station when I was 18. One of my friends, what's his name now? Can't think of his name now. Anyway, he could make transmitters, like literally a circuit board with all these components connected to a car battery. A little pirate radio station. That's what we did then. Yeah. But all this, all perfectly legal, of course, you see. Sitting here chatting away, hoping not to offend too many people. Sometimes it's unavoidable, isn't it? And that's how it is. So 20 years has been with us. Congratulations. Thanks for all your moments of joy you've brought me over these 20 years. And Matt, as I've seen him have children and grown up. I remember I've got the picture in my head now of him proudly showing off his little boy years and years ago, and they're now all of an age. It's just nice to be able to see all this sort of thing growing up. I like to see young people getting on as well. If you're regular, I don't know if I've got the picture still on here. Hang on, let's have a look here. No, I don't think it's on there now. Oh, it might be. It might be on the Reach camera. Hang on a minute. Yeah, there it is. Look. There's me and Youngblood. I bumped into him in the hotel. And I was, and I know I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I was coming into the restaurant, the bar area. This was in the morning, around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So about 2 in the afternoon, he was coming out, and I was going in, and I just stopped. I'm like, oh wow! I said, hello. And he said, you all right, mate? I said, yeah. I said, well done for everything you're doing. I like to see young people getting on, if you see what I mean. And he is a young person, and he's a massive rock star. Massive. Absolutely massive. Not only that, he met Ozzy Osbourne. Wow. Don't get much better than that, does it? And I said, is there any chance I can have a photo with you? He said, of course there is. Get your camera out. And there we are. That was only like a 10-second conversation, but it was lovely. It was really, really lovely. And I love to see young people getting on, even around here. You see these little kids like that. When I was 30 years old, now I'm 60, and they're now 35, 40 years old. Nieces and nephews, all grown up now. I have a 40-year-old nephew. Wow. Funny, isn't it? Isn't it funny, eh? Vera, the plan this year is to go to Germany and Turkey. Nice one, Vera. Turkey, again, and I don't know why certain countries just don't appeal to me. Turkey's one of them. I don't have any interest in going to Turkey. Germany, yes. There's Cologne Cathedral. Very, very old. And the masses in there, the services are also done in the old style, very serious, no laughing or mucking around, a little bit like Shania's church, no mucking around on that altar. Oh my God, if Shania gets hold of anything going on, she's straight on there. Stop it. I watched her, very, very serious. So I'd quite like to go to Cologne Cathedral there, Vera. Kelly and Simon, we're going to Sarlat in France in May, and Valletta in Malta in September. I'd like to go to Malta. Yeah, there's some lovely churches around there to visit, isn't there? Chris, you would love Malta. It's quite religious and lots of amazing churches. There you go. So she tells us that there. Malta does kind of appeal to me, I must admit. And it's not that far, is it, either? No trouble with the food there. I'll be able to get a veggie burger or 2 or 3. Hopefully some cheese and onion crisps and salt and vinegar crisps as well. Okay, so as you know, I'm going to, hopefully, all things being well, Future Ventura. The flight is on Sunday to Sunday. So I booked the Premier in, and this is where it starts going wrong. I booked the BA things, and that always goes very, very smoothly. Know what I'm doing. Type in my little membership number and all this business. Able to choose the seats free of charge and what have you. So I do all that. And I thought, well, and I've left it, you see, because I was ill. But I thought, right, I'm going to go. So I booked this Premier Inn thing. Premier Inn and parking. Purple parking. So the idea is, on Saturday, I drive to the Premier Inn hotel and I park there that night and I sleep there. And about 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll have to be up and then out 4:15, 4:30 and drive to Purple Parking, which is a few minutes down the road. And then you go into Purple Parking, you park your car, take your keys in. There you go, mate. Thank you very much. Then you get a little bus to the terminal, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And that's fine. Except I got so far, you click the continue button and the American Express thing comes out. Do you want to pay this? Yes, thank you. Pushed it, about 120 quid, something like that. That's the hotel and the car parking for 1 week. That's okay. And it weren't doing anything. What's going on? Anyway, so I've hit the back button and gone forward again. Oh, you need to now pay. Oh, well, that obviously hasn't worked. So I've paid again. And then, so I did that. And then I'm in bed and I'll just have a little quick look. Oh, God, I've paid twice now, and I paid twice now. And, yeah, when I get a problem, I like to sort that out. Well, you ain't going to do that at 1 o'clock in the morning, are you? You know, offices are open 9 till 5, Monday to Friday and all that business. So in the morning, to be fair, I rung up the site. What was it called now? Hang on. The site was called Holiday Extras. So you go to them and they do the hotel and the car park, all this sort of one. And a lovely lady in England answers the phone. Fantastic. Immediately refunded one of the things and then sorted out the other bits and pieces because it wouldn't allow me to put in the information that it wanted me to put in for some reason. Anyway, that was all sorted, all paid for. Okay, phone down. Next thing, medical insurance. As you know, those of you who are over 56, 57, 58, your medical insurance, you go on the internet and you have to put down all these things that you've got, any doctor's visits, hospital visits, and you mustn't miss anything out. You know, I would find it very hard to believe someone that has filled this out and then come across something, oh, I had a very nasty disease there. Don't think I'll put that down. Don't do it. Don't do it. Put it down. And I'll come to that in a minute. So I pulled up my last insurance, my last travel insurance, which was with Insure and Go. And then I sort of saw it there. And there's my holiday insurance when I went to Paris with my younger nephew, Jimmy, and his little tribe there. And we had a lovely time there. And there it was, and there's all my ailments on there. But of course, I now need to add a visit to A&E and my flu and chest infection. So I've got to add that on. So I'm looking at this, you know, renew insurance. No, not having any of that, is it? No renew insurance on there. Wouldn't work. Rung up the number again. An absolutely delightful lady answers the phone. Hello, Yeah, I'm trying to read. Oh, okay. I can do that for you now. Okay. I said, I'm assuming you'll be able to include all the ailments that I've got on there without me. I'm afraid not. So, no, we have to run through the whole thing again. Oh, God. Oh, and I thought, wow. Why? Why have you got to run through the entire... I just want everything that's on there, plus chest infection, visit to A&E. No, got to do the whole thing again. Now, luckily, I could see my old policy, which was only for like 4 days, right? So I've got this in front of me now, and she's asking the questions that are already in front of me and have already been answered, okay? But she's asking me again, and I'm just reading them off the screen. You know, 8 hours later, well, not quite 8 hours, but a long time later. A long time, and then it comes to the last thing, and I've had a chest infection. Okay, has that been completely cleared up? I believe so, yes. I mean, I'm not coughing my guts up now, am I? Yeah? And funnily enough, the antibiotics finished yesterday. 14 days. 2 a day I was having. 14 days of those I've had. Anyway. So we added that onto the end. Okay. Right. And the dates you're going. Yeah. 12 to the 7th, 12 to the 18th. Okay. So that's 1 week, and that's Future Ventura. Just a minute. I just want to see where that is. So I assume that's Europe or somewhere like that. Okay. Ready? £420. One week in Europe. Not only that, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I've got this gallstone thing going on there, which sometimes is a problem, sometimes is not. At the moment, it's a bit more than it is not. That's been going on since last March. This is how long it takes. Presumably because they don't think it's that important, but it could become important, couldn't it? Right? So obviously I've told them about that, and because that is something waiting to be investigated, they won't cover that. End of. So if I have a bad chest, break an arm, rashes appear all over my face, that can all be dealt with, presumably. Anything to do with the gallbladder? No, won't cover it. So even with that 420 quid, how is that so much? My friend Roy was telling me all the travel insurance has gone up like 40% this year. And it can only be pure greed. And you have to ask yourself, I talked about this. One of the worst places for becoming sick, not one of the worst places, one of the most expensive places is my favourite place to visit, and that is the USA. I love it. I want to go to... There's a cathedral in Washington I'd like to visit. I'd like to go back to California to that little church that I went to see there. I'd like to go back to Florida. Do the Disney thing and do shopping in that place. I'd like to do all these things. But if it's like £420 for 1 week in Europe, what's it going to cost me for 2 weeks in America? You'd be very, very, very foolish to go to America without travel insurance. Tens of thousands of pounds to fix a broken arm. It's all about making money over there. And I hate that way of thinking about illnesses and accidents. Oh, he's broken an arm. How much money can we make out of him? I just think that's a terrible, terrible thing. But there are so many places like it. I'm sure America isn't the only one. There's got to be other countries, and there are countries that are very reasonable. There is a thing called health tourism. Health tourism, where someone will seek out, they have a problem, I don't know, heart problem, something like that, NHS waiting list, 2 years, wherever it is, just say a year, NHS waiting list 1 year, very worried that you're not going to make the year, right? Excuse me. Very worried you won't make the year. You want to get it sorted. You go and look at countries. Yep, we'll do that for that. A particular one is a lady who had a stomach issue. She went to China to sort it all out. She said that it was amazing. Got off the plane, went straight to the hotel. From there to this hospital that she'd researched and everything. Straight in there, done the examination. 2 days later, I don't know what the time was, but it was very quick. Very quickly, got our diagnosis and some treatment. Came back home. Paid for it there and then, with her own money. Nowhere near what it would cost here privately to have something done. I think, if you want a knee replacement here, 10 grand. 7 to 10 grand. It's a lot of money. And think it's with knee replacements. I've come across people and hip replacements as well, where it hasn't worked too well. And some of the people have said, to be quite honest, it was less pain before they had the operation. But so and they've got you. They've got you. Do I pay the £420 or do I go without insurance? I ain't going without insurance. That being said, there is a European travel card, like a health card. The European... There's two. There's a European one and a global one. I don't know if the global one works for the European one as well. But nevertheless, if you've got this card... The countries that have signed up for it, I don't know if it's every single country. Hang on, global... Let me have a look. Does that work in America? Global health insurance card work in America? No. Look at this. No. A UK global health insurance card or European health insurance card does not work in the USA, as these cards provide reciprocal coverage only within the EU and a few other European nations, not the United States, which has a different healthcare system. You need separate, comprehensive, private travel insurance. So that's something I just discovered. Doesn't work in the USA. Does work in places like France. Future Ventura. So this is not travel insurance. This is something different that the governments provide. Here we go. Yes, a global health insurance card works in Fuerteventura, part of Spain, for necessary state healthcare at reduced cost or free, but is not a replacement for travel insurance. You should have that as well. Basically, if you get knocked over and they whisk you into a hospital, they'll look after you. Either free, as we would do the same to the Spanish people, okay? Or at a vastly reduced cost, so you pay the same as other people. But it's not really a replacement for travel insurance, all right? So that's how it works. £420? Yes, of course I paid it. But, I mean, it's like half the holiday again. you know what I mean? It wasn't... I didn't buy a cheap holiday. When I go away... I like to be comfortable on a plane, so I've got the nice seat on the plane, club class seat, okay? And then you get to use the lounge and choose your seat free of charge and stuff like that. And the hotel is, I think it's a 4-star. It's a 4-star hotel, fully inclusive. So not a cheap, not like a Jet2 holiday, paying £50 per person and all that business. No, none of that business. So I think it was just over £1,000, maybe say 1,200. I'm guessing it was about 1,200 quid, right? This holiday. Well, and then another £420 for the health insurance. And another £120 for the privilege of parking your bleeding car for a week. And you see, you've added half of the cost of the holiday just on travel insurance, but you've got to have it. And I think, I was talking to my friend about this on the phone the other day. I think what's going to have to happen in future is that if I decide, right, I'd like to go to America again for 2 weeks, and I just love it there. I love it there. Go to America for 2 weeks, right? See what the insurance is first. It's going to have to be that way in future, rather than book the holiday and at the last moment, which I've always done, book the travel insurance after that. I don't know what yours is. Have any of you been horrified by a travel insurance quote? I'm immensely jealous of my sister because there's nothing wrong with her. She's never really had anything wrong. So she's paying like the basic, 150 quid or something, or maybe £400 for the whole year. I did have annual travel insurance, and then they cancelled it because I rang them up and I said, well, I found a gallstone. Okay, just a minute. I'm afraid we won't be able to cover you then. Oh, what about the money I paid? Oh, well, you will be refunded a portion of that. That will be cancelled as of now. It's terrible, isn't it? But that's what I'm going to have to do, I think, in future. Check out what the insurance is and then decide whether I want to pay it or not, you know. I can probably afford it. The question is, do I want to pay it? Because we all have a price point for stuff, don't we? You know what I mean? You've got that price in your head that you are prepared to pay. Domino's Pizza, I am prepared to pay £15 for a pizza, not 25. You know what I mean? And I like to use the analogy. I like to see what I'm getting for my money. Now, you know I like to do a 5-star hotel. Claridge's afternoon tea, about £100 per person. Okay? Sounds like a lot of money. Is a lot of money. But when you see what you get for that, the attention given to you, little details everywhere, the staff who bend over backwards to serve your every need, going in there, coming out of there, £100, beautiful chandeliers worth hundreds of thousands of pounds hanging down from the ceiling, pictures, the silver, all of it. That's where your money is. Sitting down in a plastic chair in Pizza Express, £30 for a pizza and a drink? Nah, not worth it to me. Different thing altogether. And that's what I'm saying. You know, you've got a price point that you're prepared to pay. £420 for a week of medical insurance does seem quite high to me. And I do wonder what it would be like for a 2-week holiday to America. That's got to be eight to £1,000, I would imagine. But you've got to pay it. You've got to pay it. You know. Like I say, you know, it's what you're prepared to pay for. I think Claridge's is very expensive. Yes, it is. Is it worth the money? Absolutely, is it? Absolutely, is it? Yeah. I know there are people, they don't see it as an afternoon tea. They see it as a plate of sandwiches. There was, I don't know, one bloke who watches the, joins us for the radio show every day in the morning that I do. Which is here. Can I just mention that? There you go. There you go. That's tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay. You can watch the radio show, not on YouTube, unfortunately, due to copyright restrictions. You need to download a little app called Twitch. It's free of charge. Set up your free account and then look for me, and my username is Chris Reardon UK, same as it is on YouTube. Okay? So Chris Reardon UK, and you can join us just after 9 o'clock tomorrow morning after the news. I'm only on for an hour. It's very fast moving, dance music, quite high energy type thing. We have a little competition. We have things that you can vote on, and an ABBA song every day, and it's great fun. And there's also a little chat box within the Twitch as well for people to talk to. So you may or may not want to watch that on tomorrow morning. I'm not on. I usually do Tuesday night. I'm not on Tuesday night for the next 2 weeks. Okay, I was on Tuesday night until this morning, where I discovered that they require someone to play the organ at 7 o'clock on Tuesday night for Epiphany. So I'm doing that instead. So there we are. That's that. Big G, possible holidays this year? Definitely Benidorm. You look like a Benidorm type person, to be honest. No disrespect, dear. I think you do look like I think you. It suits you, Benidorm, doesn't it? You're not wearing those dreadful Speedos again at your age, love. Come on. I wouldn't wear Speedos. How do you squeeze that great big fat arse into those Speedos? That's what I want to know. Is it like some sort of shoehorn that you use or something like that? Oh, Gary, you do make me laugh, love. Get yourself a pair of decent shorts. Even the good-looking lads in the pool up the road, they don't wear Speedos. They've all got shorts on. Some of them look better than others in their shorts, I must admit. I dread to think why I look. I try not to look in the mirror as I walk past it. Yeah. Back to the pizzas. A £30 pizza and drink is just not worth it to me. There is a place I do have a pizza in, Franco Marco's, I think it's called, and it's in King's Cross. It's almost opposite the pub that I do the karaoke in, and back a little bit. And sometimes I'll go in there and have a nice margarita pizza, maybe with some peppers and those caramelised onions. They're always for. Although sometimes, you have to. Where are they? Little sprinkler. Nothing like what you do at home. You pile on all this stuff, don't you? When you're making pizza. It was years since I made a pizza here. Years. Yeah, I use the air fryer that my sister gave me to do most of my cooking, which is now over 3 years old. Fantastic things, air fryers. So quick pasties and things like that I make from scratch. Anyway, that's the travel insurance story there. Here's a question for you. And we were talking to, was it Julie we spoke to on the phone earlier about getting caught short? Where is the worst place you've been caught short? You're desperate, absolutely desperate to go to the toilet. Where is the worst place that you have been caught short? Let us know. Send us a text 07451 287 337 or send us an email with your answers on that one. Where's the worst place you've been caught short, gang? Let me know. Mine would have been about 25 years ago, and I was driving to work and I was DJing at a place in central London, St Martin's Lane, called The Brief Encounter. And the timing of this was a 7:30 start. Again, a real pain getting to work in the traffic, but that was the job. Did I want it or not? Yes, I did. It was a nice little job there. And I'd recently had a burst appendix, and my stomach was playing up like there's no tomorrow. And I'm sitting in this car, and I'm coming round, I think it was Trafalgar Square. Was it? No, I was coming up towards Trafalgar Square. I turned right. God, where am I? I turned right somewhere. I thought, oh my God, I need to go toilet. And I wasn't going to make it to the bar. Not and park. Do you know what I mean? Because you can park outside. You have to go in a NCP car park and use that. And I can close my eyes and see it now, even though it was so long ago. And I've turned right, and you come along sort of a slope, and then at the other end you turn left, and Trafalgar Square is kind of in front of you. And I'm coming down there, and we've got double yellow lines everywhere, massive amounts of traffic, and there's a McDonald's on the other side of the road. I say the other side of the road. I think it was one way. Can't remember. Anyway, I'm like, oh my word. I don't have any choice here. The choice is ruin your car seat or take the risk of getting a ticket, which is highly likely you would get. And I pulled over on the left in a bus stop. Again, highly illegal. I had no choice. On went the hazard lights, closed the door, locked the doors. Ran across the road, ran up the stairs. There's one toilet, and it's empty. Finished in there. There was even toilet paper. You been in a pub before or somewhere like that? Finished. Oh no, there's no toilet paper. Listen, whenever you go in a pub toilet or McDonald's, anywhere like that, before you go in there, you go and grab yourself some serviettes. You never know. Be prepared, like in the Scouts. Anyway, so I finished. I thought, oh, thank God for that. And, oh well. Go back to my car, pick up the ticket on the front, and carry on to work. And I got back to my car. No ticket. I couldn't believe it. No ticket on the car. And maybe a traffic warden saw me run over and knew what was going on. I don't know. And there weren't, to be fair, 25 years ago, there weren't so many of those ghastly private traffic wardens there who, I swear, they're all on a bleeding, on a commission, I'm sure. And I got back into my car and I'm like, why is there no ticket on the car? And I carried on to work. And and the other time was a similar thing. And I was on antibiotics again. So it's got to be something to do with that. And I was coming home, actually, so it was quite late at night. And you don't mind me sharing this with you, do you? Please feel free to laugh, because I don't care. If you laugh, don't feel sorry for me. Just laugh, because it's a funny situation when you think about it. Coming down towards Shepherd's Bush, I've come off this road called the Westway, which is a very busy road during the afternoons. You don't want to be on that road in the afternoon, seriously. I'm going down this road. I've come off there, turned left, and I'm coming towards Shepherd's Bush. Oh, no. And it was quite quick, this one. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. And I'm looking around. There's nowhere to stop. Nowhere. I come round Shepherd's Bush. Roadworks. I'm desperately holding on here. Eventually I got through the roadworks and went round and I thought, there's a park. I know there's a park somewhere. Anyway, I never made it to the park. And at a point where there was like a brick wall in between this. So houses, brick wall, main road, but not busy, 11 o'clock at night. I literally had to... And this is Hammersmith. Listen. Hammersmith is full of cameras. They are everywhere. They must be watching every inch of everything that's in Hammersmith. And I again, you get to the point and you have no choice. In the car or outside the car. No time to get anywhere now. Too late. You've missed that. And I pulled over when I saw this wall, and I opened the back door, and I opened the passenger door, and I crouched in between them both. With a bucket and a bin liner, which has been in the car for 2 years, just in case. What can you do? Anyway, that's my stuff. I just wondered if any of you had been caught. If you have, send us a message really quickly because we're nearly out of time there. All right, my darlings. Jason agrees with me about you get what you pay. If you can afford, then follow your heart and do it. Thank you very much. Bless Big G. There you go. That's on the subject of Claridge's. Jet in Canterbury had just left Gatwick Airport. Oh, he was a taxi driver. Oh, right, okay. Just left Gatwick Airport and needed the loo. Couldn't find McDonald's anywhere and it was getting desperate. Then got onto the motorway and it was bumper to bumper traffic. Oh, yeah, I've got another one to tell you. Thank you for reminding me there. Bumper to bumper traffic. So I just got out the taxi and ran over to the grass verge and ran behind a tree and squatted. Then when I stood up, oh no, I slipped and landed in my puddle. True story, old Jet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Roy. In Myanmar, a lovely place called Lake Inle. Massive lake, 2.5 hours by boat. I was busting in the first hour. As I got off, I went to a cafe and used the toilet. It was a stack. What's a stack? And I did the longest wee in my life. It was coming out at 400 psi for about 30 seconds. And I did the biggest long trombone deep note fart when I was peeing, as you do, and the whole cafe heard me. Well, that's the funny thing about it. You know, you don't mind if you make a little bit of a mess of yourself. It's if anyone else sees you. That's the disaster, isn't it? Oh, gosh. I did have another incident, and I, similar to Jet there, was stuck in traffic on the M25. And I had a job to do in Croydon at a place called The Cage. I was DJing there on a Friday night, and this traffic had just stopped. Everyone's turned off their engines. I was lucky at this point. I had a Land Rover. I had a Defender Land Rover. I thought, oh my God, I need to go. I really need to go. And I thought, what am I going to do? And the motorway was very open. There was no like bushes or anything. It was just open. And I thought, right, what's in them? And I'm looking in the back. There's a blanket. And I literally had to get into the back of the Land Rover and, on the blanket, which I then carefully wrapped up and placed in the bin further on. Left the windows open, of course. Anyway, there we are. Isn't it funny, these little stories that we have? That's it today. Thank you very much for joining us, boys and girls. I'm back with you on a Sunday night, not next Sunday, because I've got a little holiday. The Sunday after, okay? So Sunday the... might be Sunday the 18th. I don't know what time my plane gets back. I come back on the Sunday. No, probably not. So no chat show now for 2 weeks, okay? So I think I'm back on Sunday the 25th of January with the next show, which I think puts me... Oh, hang on a minute. What have I done here? When am I going up the caravan again then? Oh, don't say I can't go this month. Future Ventura. Oh, I'm organ playing on the 25th. Oh, no. I think I'm back with you on Sunday the 25th of January. All right, my loves. Thanks for joining us. My sister and her husband are now doing a show. It's not live as in sitting here with a camera in front of them. They have a premiere going on, so they have a recorded show going out. But they are in the chat box if you want to talk to them and ask them questions, and they will answer you, okay? Any more messages before I go? Mark, should be a 8:10 finish, solid 2-hour show. Tut, bitch. Well, I'm only 9 minutes early. My sister should get all narky if I go into the time zone, which I've already done by 1.5 minutes. And people leave very quickly once that time comes anyway, and go and join them. Thank you very much for joining us, okay? I'm going to disappear now. There's a new logo at the end now because we're now in 2026. So have a nice day. Have a nice evening, rather. And I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye now.